tattooing is a shared experience. It's time that you sit down with one person for hours. You're within 2 feet of each other for hours. You're talking. You're getting bled on the entire time. It's gross. But it's personal. Tattooing is personal. I'm Butch. People call me Butcher. Throughout high school and shit, I was a pretty big athlete, right? So I went to college for sports and all of that. Was an art major. I dabbled with tattoos when I was like 14, tattooing a bunch of little shitheads and stuff. And then in college, I got hurt playing sports and did my time, did research, kind of watched things online, knew I wanted to do it, read history and all that, and then just started tattooing homies in the dorm room.
I met Butcher after the shop opened, so I came in the day after the shop opened and just hung out with Sasha and Christian all day and painted. Met Butcher, who was doing a tattoo, and I was kind of nervous too because I'd never worked at a tattoo shop before, so I came in and I'm all like nervous and stuff, and I go sit down and draw, and he like looks at me from across the room and he just says, "This does this at me," and I come over and we just like chat for a second. I could have sat at home all this time and just been painting and thinking about, how am I going to get into tattoos? And it's completely different when you're actually in a shop and you're around people doing tattoos, and it has this, it's just much more intense thing going on where there's this thing happening with tattoos and the culture surrounding it. And the more I'm around it, the more I'm like, oh man, I need to be a part of this.
Get the fuck out of your phone.
You can go get a tattoo from a really killer tattoo guy. He could be a shithead, you have a real bad time. 10 years down the road, you're gonna look at that tattoo and go, yeah, it's a good tat, but that dude was blah, 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 blah. Tattooing is more of the experience. It's the magic of walking into a tattoo shop. It's the taboo of it. It should always be open to everybody. This shit was built off the people that nobody wanted to be around carnies and shit like that. Tattoos are for everybody. Like, from the most corporate dude that will never have a tattoo that's visible to the dude who works at fucking Arby's and his entire face is tattooed.
I like watching people show up after grueling hours and hours. I like seeing them come back, like the dedication to large stuff.
Thank you so much.
You're never not learning in this industry, ever. You're constantly learning layout. You're learning new ways to draw something. You're learning new concepts. You're learning, none of us ever have it figured out. I think just repetition and years of putting in the time and the work, you start to polish it a little bit, but it's never figured out.
There's a lot of old heads, a lot of old tattooers that are real pissed about how tattooing is right now, which it is more different now than it's ever been. But it's also very possible to rewrite the mold, to redo it, to figure out a new system to where you can keep tattooing as true to tattooing as possible, but still provide a place where my table was infinite to where at any point there's room for someone to pull their seat up to, rather than here you can just eat off my plate. It doesn't have to be some crazy new mold. You don't have to fucking rewrite the book, but you could add a page and make it a little bit better.